Have you ever wondered why, despite eating all the right foods and staying active, your body doesn't quite bounce back the way it used to? You've probably heard it 1,000 times. Eat more protein. That's the go-to advice for staying strong and maintaining muscle as we get older. And sure, protein matters. But what if I told you that focusing only on protein could actually be leading us in the wrong direction? If you're over 60 and feel like your workouts leave you more tired than energized, or your muscles just aren't responding the way they once did, you're not alone. The truth is, what's happening inside your body isn't just about what you're eating. It's about how your body is using what you eat and, more importantly, what it's missing. Let me share a story you might relate to. There's a man named David, 67 years old, who takes pride in staying fit. He walks every morning, keeps a balanced diet, adds lean protein to every meal, and even hits the gym twice a week. But despite doing everything right, he noticed his energy fading. His recovery took longer. His strength gains seemed to plateau. Frustrated, he chalked it up to age. But after some deeper digging, David discovered something surprising. He wasn't lacking effort. He was lacking something his body quietly needed, something not mentioned in most fitness advice. It wasn't a fancy supplement or some cutting-edge exercise trend. It was a simple mineral one that rarely gets the spotlight. Now here's the thing. Muscle loss after 60 isn't just about age. It's about how your body responds to stress, inflammation, and recovery. It's about what your cells are doing beneath the surface. And sometimes, the missing piece isn't more effort. It's better support. This is where so many well-meaning people get stuck. They push harder, eat more protein, cut more sugar, but the results just don't come. And it's not because they're doing it wrong. It's because they're missing what truly helps the body rebuild from the inside out. So if you've been doing your best, but your body isn't responding the way it used to, don't give up. You might not need to try harder. You might just need to try smarter. Because once you understand what your body actually needs, things can start to change. There's more to strength after 60 than what's on your plate. And today, we're going to uncover what that really is. Common myths about age-related muscle loss. For decades, the message has been simple. Eat enough protein, and you'll protect your muscles. And yes, protein is essential. It's the raw material your body uses to build and repair tissue. But here's a fact that doesn't get talked about enough. Muscle loss with age isn't just a protein issue. It's a systems issue. Let's break this down. As we get older, our bodies go through subtle but significant changes. Hormones like testosterone and growth hormone begin to decline. These hormones don't just affect how we feel, they directly impact how our muscles grow and recover. Less of these hormones means slower rebuilding. Even if you're eating enough protein, your body may not be as responsive as it once was. Another factor is your mitochondria, the energy factories inside your cells. Think of them like batteries. When they're strong and charged, you feel energized. Your muscles recover. But as we age, those batteries weaken. They don't produce energy as efficiently. That leads to slower muscle repair and a lingering sense of fatigue. So why does this matter? Because if your energy systems aren't working properly, your muscles can't fully rebuild, no matter how much protein you consume. You could be eating grilled chicken 3 times a day and still not see results. That's not your fault. It's just biology, unless you know how to support it properly. But the misunderstandings don't stop there. Another myth is that muscle loss is simply a part of getting older, and that nothing can be done about it. Many people accept this as fact. They start moving less, challenging themselves less, and before long, their lifestyle becomes more sedentary. Not because they're lazy, but because their body has stopped responding the way it used to. And their mind quietly accepts that decline. Here's the problem with that thinking. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you expect to feel weaker, you act weaker. And over time, your body adjusts to that new normal. But here's what's really going on under the surface. Your body responds to the signals you give it. If it constantly senses stress, poor sleep, and nutrient imbalances, it will shift from growth mode into preservation mode. In this state, muscle becomes less of a priority. The body starts conserving energy instead of building strength. And once that cycle sets in, it takes more than protein to break it. The good news, you can interrupt that cycle. Your body is incredibly adaptive, even after 60, but it needs the right input. Not just more food or exercise, but a deeper kind of support. That includes the right minerals, the right rest, and the right recovery signals that tell your body it's safe to grow again. Think of it this way. Your body is like a well-built house. Protein is the building material, the bricks, and wood. But without power tools, scaffolding, and a solid foundation, you can't do much with those materials. Magnesium, sleep, hormones, and cellular energy are the tools and foundation. Without them, all the protein in the world won't help. Let's go back to David, the man I mentioned earlier. He wasn't just struggling because of a lack of protein. His sleep was shallow, his stress was high, and his energy levels were unpredictable. He thought he was doing everything right, but his body wasn't responding. When he finally started supporting his system, from the inside addressing inflammation, restoring mineral balance, and getting real rest, everything began to improve. That's when muscle recovery kicked in. His workouts became more effective. His energy returned. Most importantly, he felt like himself again. So if you've ever wondered why you're not seeing the results you expect despite eating well and staying active, the issue might not be what you're doing, but what your body is missing at the cellular level. And one of the most overlooked pieces of that puzzle is magnesium, a mineral that plays a silent but powerful role in nearly every process your body needs to stay strong. But more on that in a moment. Right now, the most important thing to understand is this. Aging doesn't cause muscle loss on its own. The real cause is how your body manages energy, stress, and recovery, and whether it has the support it needs to rebuild. Let me tell you about someone I met a few years ago. Her name is Carol. She's 65, retired from teaching, and had always lived an active lifestyle. Daily walks, yoga twice a week, and plenty of home-cooked meals filled with vegetables, lean meats, and all the good stuff the experts recommend. When Carol first noticed her energy dropping, she didn't think much of it. Just getting older, she told herself. But then, it started affecting things she used to enjoy. Gardening left her sore for days. Carrying groceries felt heavier, and her sleep became more restless. She even started skipping her morning walks. That didn't sit right with her, so she did what most people would do. She added more protein to her meals, protein shakes, eggs every morning, grilled chicken for dinner. She also started lifting light weights at home, but nothing changed. In fact, some days she felt even more exhausted. Frustrated, she talked to her doctor. Her blood work came back normal, but she kept insisting something felt off. Eventually, she met with a nutritionist, who suggested checking her magnesium levels. It's not something doctors usually test for in routine checkups. The results: Carol's magnesium was low, very low. She was surprised. I eat well. I don't drink much coffee or soda. I take a multivitamin. But what she didn't realize was that stress, medications, and even age can affect how the body absorbs and holds on to key nutrients. And magnesium in particular is one of the first to slip through the cracks. With the guidance of her nutritionist, Carol started supplementing with magnesium glycinate, a form that's gentle on the stomach and easy for the body to absorb. She also began focusing more on sleep hygiene and light evening stretching instead of overexerting herself. Within a few weeks, things shifted. She wasn't just sleeping better, she was waking up with more energy. Her recovery time shortened. The heaviness in her limbs after gardening started to fade. Her mood improved too. She didn't feel like she was pushing uphill anymore. She felt like her body was working with her, not against her. What changed wasn't just her supplement routine, it was the way she supported her entire recovery system. By addressing the signals her body had been quietly sending, she gave it what it needed to do its job properly. Carol still eats well and moves every day. But now she's not guessing anymore. She understands that strength after 60 isn't just about muscle, it's about balance, repair, and listening to the body's quieter messages. Stories like Carol's aren't rare. In fact, they're more common than you might think. Many older adults feel like they're doing everything right, but still not getting the results they want. And often, what's missing isn't more effort, it's the kind of support that can't be seen in a mirror or measured with a bathroom scale. So if you've been feeling the same way, tired, stuck, or like your body just isn't keeping up, it might be time to look at the full picture, just like Carol did. Let's dig into why magnesium matters so much, especially after 60, and why it may be the missing link in your recovery. Energy and strength. Magnesium is involved in more than 300 different biological processes in the human body. That's not marketing hype, it's basic physiology. This one mineral influences everything from how your muscles contract and relax to how your brain calms down at night, to how your body makes and uses energy. To understand magnesium's role in muscle health, we have to start with ATP, short for adenosine triphosphate. ATP is the primary form of energy your body uses for almost everything. Every time you blink, move a finger, or take a step, ATP is involved. But here's something most people don't realize. ATP only becomes active when it's bound to magnesium. In fact, the working version of this energy molecule is called MgATP. Without enough magnesium, your cells can't properly produce, store, or use energy. That means your muscles don't recover well, your workouts leave you more drained than energized, and over time, that fatigue compounds. And it doesn't stop with energy. Magnesium also plays a major role in managing inflammation. As we age, our bodies naturally accumulate more low-level inflammation, whether from stress, poor sleep, or even long-term exposure to processed foods or environmental toxins. While a little inflammation is normal and even helpful for short-term healing, chronic inflammation is like a constant background fire. It wears down your tissues and interrupts the signals your body needs to rebuild muscle effectively. Magnesium is what helps put out that fire. It regulates the release of certain inflammatory chemicals in the body and helps calm the immune response after physical activity. If you've ever wondered why you feel sore for days after light exercise, or why a minor ache takes forever to heal, low magnesium might be a part of the answer. And then there's your nervous system. Recovery isn't just about your muscles, it's also about your brain and nerves. When you're under stress, whether mental or physical, your body activates the fight-or-flight system. That's helpful in short bursts, but harmful if it stays on all the time. If your body thinks it's constantly in danger, it focuses on survival, not recovery. That means it may actually break down muscle instead of building it. Magnesium helps shift your body into rest and repair mode by activating the parasympathetic nervous system. It also supports the function of GABA, a calming neurotransmitter that helps quiet your thoughts, lower cortisol levels, and promote deeper sleep. And sleep is a big one. Nearly all muscle repair, hormone balancing, and tissue rebuilding happens while you're sleeping. If your sleep is light, disrupted, or too short, your recovery slows down. No matter how well you eat or how often you train, your body needs rest to heal. Magnesium helps make that rest more effective. Here's the kicker. Studies show that most people over 60 aren't getting enough magnesium, even if they think they're eating a healthy diet. That's because modern farming practices have stripped much of the magnesium from the soil. Processed foods contain almost none, and stress alone can deplete magnesium levels in the body. Certain medications, including common blood pressure or heart drugs, can also interfere with magnesium absorption. So you could be eating right and still come up short. How do you know if you might be low? Some of the signs are subtle. Frequent muscle cramps, fatigue that lingers, mood swings, poor sleep, or even that vague sense of just not feeling like yourself. These can all be early indicators that your body's mineral balance is off. The good news is that magnesium is easy to supplement on. The benefits, when done properly, can be felt quickly. People often report better sleep, steadier energy, improved mood, and fewer aches and pains within just a few weeks of consistent use. But it's not just about popping a pill and calling it a day. Not all magnesium is the same. Different forms serve different purposes. Choosing the right one is essential for results. We'll go deeper into the best types of magnesium and how to use them in the next segment, but for now, the key idea is this. If you're doing the work, eating well, exercising, staying active, but still not seeing progress, your body might not be broken. It might just be running low on a resource that makes everything else work better. Magnesium is often that missing piece. When your energy is steady, your inflammation is controlled, and your nervous system is calm, your muscles can finally respond the way they're meant to. That's when protein starts working again. That's when recovery gets easier. It's when strength returns. By now you know that magnesium plays a crucial role in rebuilding muscle, storing energy, and supporting deep recovery, especially after 60. But before you rush out and grab a bottle from the drugstore shelf, it's important to understand that not all magnesium is created equal. The form you choose, how much you take, and when you take it can make all the difference between a supplement that works and one that just passes through your system without doing much at all. Let's start with the different types of magnesium. Some are better for your muscles, others are better for your brain, and some are barely absorbed at all. One of the most common and cheapest forms is magnesium oxide. It's easy to find and often included in low-cost supplements. But here's the problem. Your body absorbs very little of it. Most of it moves right through your system. Might help with constipation, but it won't do much for your muscles, your energy, or your sleep. If you're looking for muscle recovery and better sleep, magnesium glycinate is one of the best options. It's highly absorbable, gentle on the stomach, and it has a calming effect on the nervous system. Many people who take magnesium glycinate before bed report falling asleep faster and waking up more refreshed. Another useful form is magnesium citrate. It helps with muscle cramps and digestion. If you occasionally feel bloated or have trouble with regularity, this might be a good fit. It also supports muscle function, though it may not be as calming as glycinate. Then there's magnesium threonate form, designed to cross the blood-brain barrier. That means it can support brain health, memory, and mental clarity. If you struggle with brain fog, irritability, or sleep issues rooted in mental stress, magnesium threonate might be worth exploring. There are other forms too, like magnesium malate, which helps with energy production and muscle pain, especially for those who deal with chronic fatigue or fibromyalgia. And magnesium taurate, which supports heart function and may help regulate blood pressure. So which one is right for you? If your main concern is muscle recovery and better sleep, start with magnesium glycinate. If digestion or cramps are more of an issue, citrate might help. And if mental fatigue or mood changes are bothering you, threonate could be a smart addition. Now let's talk timing. Many people benefit from taking magnesium in the evening, about an hour before bed. That's when your body naturally begins to wind down, and magnesium can support that process both mentally and physically. Evening doses often improve sleep quality and help prepare your muscles for overnight recovery. If you're active during the day, another strategy is to take a small dose after a workout, along with your recovery meal. This helps your body relax your muscles, manage inflammation, and replenish what was used during exercise. You don't need a high dose to see results. In fact, more is not always better. Taking too much magnesium, especially if you use low absorption types like oxide, can cause loose stools or digestive upset. Most people do well with 200 to 400 milligrams per day, depending on their needs and what their doctor recommends. Now here's something most people don't know. Magnesium doesn't work alone. It needs support from other nutrients to do its job fully. One of the most important of those is vitamin D. If you're low in vitamin D, your body can't absorb magnesium efficiently. And the reverse is also true. Magnesium helps activate vitamin D in the body. They work as a team. That's why it's a good idea to check both levels if you're addressing fatigue, weakness, or slow recovery. Also, remember that magnesium supports your recovery, but it doesn't replace movement. Your muscles still need the right signals to grow. That means some kind of physical challenge resistance training, walking with intention, or simple bodyweight movements. Magnesium helps your body respond to that training, but it can't do all the work by itself. When you combine the right form of magnesium, at the right dose, taken at the right time, and paired with good sleep, exercise, and nutrition, something powerful happens. Your recovery system begins to work the way it was designed to. You stop feeling like you're constantly behind. You start waking up with more energy. Your workouts feel rewarding again. Most importantly, your body begins to trust itself again. One more thing, don't expect overnight magic. For many people, the benefits of magnesium show up gradually. You may notice better sleep first, then less soreness, then steadier energy. Over time, these small wins build into a bigger transformation. That's the beauty of supporting your body the way it was meant to be supported. It's not a quick fix, but it's a real one. For a long time, recovery has been treated as something passive, something you do after the real work is over. You push through a workout, you go about your day, and recovery just happens in the background if you're lucky. But after 60, that thinking no longer works. Recovery isn't what happens after the work. Recovery is the work. It's the piece most people overlook when they're trying to stay strong, energetic, and active later in life. It's easy to see exercise as the main focus. After all, moving your body is essential for maintaining muscle, bone density, and heart health. But here's the truth. Exercise only creates the opportunity for change. Recovery is what makes that change real. Without good recovery, your workouts don't lead to progress, they lead to burnout. So what does effective recovery actually look like? It's not just lying on the couch or skipping the gym for a few days. Real recovery is about giving your body the tools it needs to repair, rebuild, and grow stronger. It means deep, restful sleep. It means managing stress, not just pushing through it. It means nourishing your cells, not just feeding your hunger. And it means adjusting how you think about your body not as something that's breaking down, but as something that's still capable of growth, even at 60, 70, or beyond. That shift in mindset is powerful. When you treat your body like it's in decline, you naturally start doing less. You slow down. You make fewer demands. You start expecting less from yourself, and guess what? Your body follows those expectations. You adapt downward. But what if you flipped that idea around? What if you believed your body is still responsive, still adaptable, still able to get stronger? What if instead of just trying to not lose what you have, you focused on rebuilding what you've lost? That simple shift from defending against loss to pursuing strength changes everything. You start making choices that build resilience. You see sleep not as a luxury, but as a training tool. You treat stress not as something to ignore, but something to manage. You use recovery as your foundation, not an afterthought. And when you add the right support, like magnesium, balanced nutrition, light resistance training, and intentional rest, your body starts responding in ways that surprise you. You don't need to train like an athlete or eat a perfect diet. You just need to create the conditions where your body can thrive. And those conditions are absolutely within your control. Here's the most hopeful part. You're not starting from zero. You've got life experience, discipline, and a sense of purpose. What's missing for many people isn't motivation, it's direction. Once you understand how your body recovers and what it needs to rebuild, things start clicking into place. Energy returns, strength improves, mood lifts. You begin to feel like yourself again, not a younger version, but a more capable, more confident version of who you are right now. It's not about chasing youth. It's about unlocking what your body is still capable of without the pressure, without the hype, and without the one-size-fits-all fitness advice that doesn't work for your stage of life. Recovery after 60 is about more than slowing the decline. It's about building something new. For a long time, recovery has been treated as something passive, something you do after the real work is over. You push through a workout, you go about your day, and recovery just happens in the background if you're lucky. But after 60, that thinking no longer works. Recovery isn't what happens after the work. Recovery is the work. It's the piece most people overlook when they're trying to stay strong, energetic, and active later in life. It's easy to see exercise as the main focus. After all, moving your body is essential for maintaining muscle, bone density, and heart health. But here's the truth. Exercise only creates the opportunity for change. Recovery is what makes that change real. Without good recovery, your workouts don't lead to progress, they lead to burnout. So what does effective recovery actually look like? It's not just lying on the couch or skipping the gym for a few days. Real recovery is about giving your body the tools it needs to repair, rebuild, and grow stronger. That means deep, restful sleep. It means managing stress, not just pushing through it. It means nourishing your cells, not just feeding your hunger. And it means adjusting how you think about your body not as something that's breaking down, but as something that's still capable of growth, even at 60, 70, or beyond. That shift in mindset is powerful. When you treat your body like it's in decline, you naturally start doing less. You slow down. You make fewer demands. You start expecting less from yourself, and guess what? Your body follows those expectations. You adapt downward. But what if you flipped that idea around? What if you believed your body is still responsive, still adaptable, still able to get stronger? What if instead of just trying to not lose what you have, you focused on rebuilding what you've lost? That simple shift from defending against loss to pursuing strength changes everything. You start making choices that build resilience. You see sleep not as a luxury, but as a training tool. You treat stress not as something to ignore, but something to manage. You use recovery as your foundation, not an afterthought. And when you add the right support, like magnesium, balanced nutrition, light resistance training, and intentional rest, your body starts responding in ways that surprise you. You don't need to train like an athlete or eat a perfect diet. You just need to create the conditions where your body can thrive. And those conditions are absolutely within your control. Here's the most hopeful part. You're not starting from zero. You've got life experience, discipline, and a sense of purpose. What's missing for many people isn't motivation, it's direction. Once you understand how your body recovers and what it needs to rebuild, things start clicking into place. Energy returns, strength improves, mood lifts. You begin to feel like yourself again, not a younger version, but a more capable, more confident version of who you are right now. It's not about chasing youth. It's about unlocking what your body is still capable of without the pressure, without the hype, and without the one-size-fits-all fitness advice that doesn't work for your stage of life. Recovery after 60 is about more than slowing the decline. It's about building something new. You've made it this far, and that says something important. You care about your health not just to avoid illness, but to truly live well. This conversation about magnesium, recovery, and rebuilding strength isn't just about science or supplements. It's about trusting that your body still has the ability to improve even after 60. Even if it's been a while, even if things feel slower than they used to. And that belief, it's powerful. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever tried adding magnesium to your routine? Did you notice a difference in your sleep, energy, or muscle recovery? Or maybe you felt some of the struggles we talked about today, like constant fatigue, slow recovery, or frustration when your hard work doesn't seem to pay off. Whatever your experience, I invite you to share it in the comments below. Not just for me, but for others who may be going through the same thing. You never know who you might encourage just by telling your story. And if you found this video helpful, if something in it made you pause and think differently, please take a moment to like the video. It helps more people discover this message. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you won't miss future videos focused on smart, sustainable strength after 60. We've got more to cover, from exercise tips to recovery strategies to easy nutrition upgrades. You can start right away. It's about giving you practical tools you can trust in, helping you feel confident in your body again. Because no matter your age, your health isn't a lost cause. It's a living project. Your body is always listening, ready to respond, ready to rebuild when you give it what it needs. Thank you for watching, and thank you for investing this time in yourself. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay strong, stay curious, and keep showing up for your body and for your life.